This is Paul. Yes. I was just looking at this filing fee petition. Yeah. It says submitted in lieu of the filing fee required by RCW 29A. Yeah. 0.24.091. Every person who signs this petition with any other than his or her true name knowingly signs more than one of these petitions. Yes. Signs this petition when he or she is not a legal voter. Yeah. Or makes any false statement on this petition may be punished by fine or imprisonment or both. Yes. Now, this is the undersigned registered voters of whatever state. Yeah. Are hereby petitioning that the name of the candidate's name be printed on the ballot. Is that where it's at? Official primary ballot of the office of. Yeah. Now, what's interesting here is you have a signature. Yeah. Printed name, residence, address, city, and county. Yeah. And this is a form that is sometimes used for candidate documents filing fee petition 2015 113 of 2015. Now, it's interesting that they have this law that you have to be a legal voter. Yes. You have to use your true name. And you cannot sign more than one of these, and you cannot make any false statements. Or you could be fined or imprisoned or both. Yes. Now, just kind of looking through these various petitions, this warning. How many people have ever been prosecuted for these? Because certificate of appointment, yes, it has the oath of office, right? And then let's see here, the declaration of candidacy, precinct commissioner officer, file of forms. And exact name, I would print it on the ballots. Only contested races will appear on the ballot. Yeah. I declare that the above information is true, that I'm a registered voter residing at the residential address and precinct listed above. I'm a candidate for precinct committee officer for the party and precinct. Then it says further, I declare under penalty of perjury. I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States. Yeah. And the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington. And then you sign right here. Yeah. And you put the date. You know, it's interesting that we have all these blurbs, really. Nobody ever thinks about them. Could you get me all the signatures on all these candidacy forms and their printed names, GPS location of where they reside, and what city and county that they're in? Because it looks like a large number of individuals don't take seriously the laws of the United States. Yes. Now, the undersigned registered voters of hereby petition the name be printed on the official primary ballot. Yes. And they have that right here. Yeah. I had sent you an email. Now, this is the presidential write-in form. Somewhat interesting. Yes. That Washington State Declaration write-in candidacy. Again, they have one of these blurbs about. I declare that the above information is true. I'm a natural born citizen of the United States residing at the address listed above. I am a write-in candidate for the office indicated above, and that at the time of this write-in declaration, I am legally qualified to assume office. Could you get me the actual signatures of this oath? Yes. For all of those that are write-in candidates. Now, my concern is that I keep documenting that the individuals that are legally liable for the actual laws, yes, they don't seem to take seriously these documents they've been signing. For some reason, their thought was, well, I can't be held legally liable. These are not enforceable laws. Yes. But looking at some of this documentation, failure to summons assistance, a person's guilty of a harassment. 12A.06.040 with the intent to annoy or alarm another person. He or she repeatedly used fighting words, obscene language, substantial risk of assault. Yes. Without lawful authority, the person knowingly threatens, causing physical damage. Person threatened, physical confinement or restraint maliciously. Do any other act which is intended to cause substantial harm to the person. With When any defendant charged with a crime of harassment is released, yes, court issues an order protecting the victim. It shall issue a written no contact order. Court shall do the necessity of imposing no contact orders. Now, I've been detained numerous times. Yeah. Every person convicted of a harassment shall have a biological sample collected for purpose of DNA identification. Yes. Could you get me all the DNA of those that have had the $100 as a court fee for each and every harassment order? Now, I thought it includes indecent, unlawful use of weapons, intimidate another. Yes. And then there's the reckless endangerment, failing to summons assistance. Yeah. Uh, was present when a crime was committed against another person. Now, since I wasn't in Squim and I wasn't in Brendan and I wasn't really bothering any clients at the PVH, um, I'm thinking that the police and the sheriff's departments really aren't acknowledging my summons for assistance. Yes. Now, there's what's known as coercion. So, induce a person engaged in conduct the latter has legal right to abstain from or to abstain from conduct. Threat caused by damage, subject another person to physical confinement or restraint. Yes. Now they have this peace officers shall enjoy the immunity provided. Now the city of Seattle is going to defend each and every police officer in their police department at the city's expense. Of course, that would be the taxpayers' expense, wouldn't it? Yes. I mean, exactly how much money does the city have without the taxation of those that are residents? Now, domestic violence and custodial interference is provided in Chapter 4.64. I would say that somebody interfered in my custody of my sons without jurisdiction of law. Now we're back to that forgery of the ex officio Superior Court clerk. And then there are the forgeries of the signatures of those that have petitioned on the part of the parties. Right. The possible forgery of the candidates that signed oaths of office. And then a criminal impersonation of my wife. Yes. See, a person guilty of criminal impersonation, if she is or is not a law enforcement officer, I think it's criminal impersonation to impersonate a petitioner while petitioning the court. Now, this false reporting, yes. Contempt of court, yes. Are you going to enforce the Seattle Municipal Code? I just wanted to know that because my thought is I'm going to sue the city, yes. And then I'm going to sue the city for using taxpayer funds to defend their peace officers. Now, just looking at these candidates for office, yeah, I'm going to want every signature on all of the candidacy forms. Yes. And if you're not an actual person, I'm gonna sue you for signing your candidacy form. And then in the South, yes, get me all the candidacy forms of all of those in office and every signature of those that petition to have them put on the primary ballot. Because my thought is that a lot of individuals are actually in office that shouldn't be. Now, I'm sitting here, right, wanting my sons, yes. And you're sitting there saying, well, he's crazy. Oh, am I really? Yes. I download some information just for my own personal use because I evaluate the actual authors. But this elections guide for jurisdiction and candidates, yes. Clallam County Local Voters Pamphlet Administrative Rules, 2019. The auditor's office in each and every county of the United States, yeah. Why don't you get me the individuals that volunteered during those elections for the last 40 years? Yes. And their sworn oath, because I did email the various election districts, and then get me the electors. I noticed that in Washington state, yes, some of the electors took it upon themselves to vote for somebody other than those that the voters voted for. Yes, I'm going to sue them right now. See, the law is established, the color of the law. And then after you decide that, well, I'm going to use my own discretion and I'm just going to write in a candidate even though nobody voted for the person or maybe next to nobody. Yes. The thought is that that is really not the intent of the Electoral College. It's really for you to ask yourself the question, did the voters actually vote for the individual that you as an elector should be voting for? Now, you have the right as an elector to challenge any election, but my thought is you don't have the availability of your individual discretion about voting for anybody just because you like the individual or that's your personal politics. So just give me every signature on all candidacy forms, and then all of those that further I declare under the penalty of perjury that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and the laws of the state of Washington. Because electors, I'm going to sue you. See, when the state doesn't enforce that $1,000 fine because you decided to use your office as an elector to make a statement that you were going to do what you think is right, I, as an American citizen, am going to sue the state for just not fining you as the RCWs require right now. There is no appeals process when you had sworn you would support the laws of the state of Washington when being chosen to be an elector. And for the state of Washington to entertain your appeal of the $1,000 fine, I'm going to sue the state for not enforcing their laws because there's too much discretion in the color of the authority of the law. Now, I'm wanting to use the court system. And if you're not an actual person, further, I declare under the penalty of perjury, I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington. The moment you signed that declaration, there was no appealing your declaration. Now give me all the signatures of every election, and I want to know the actual identity of all of them.